Okay. Good evening. I'd like to welcome everyone to the August 28th, 2019 meeting of the Town of Dudley Planning Board. And as is customary, we don't begin with a Pledge of Allegiance. I apologize. I was shifting back to the Library Board of Trustees and the Selectmen. Excuse me for that. All righty. First on our agenda is the approval of minutes for August 14th, 2019 meeting. Everyone hopefully had a chance to review those. And are there any omissions, deletions, questions, or concerns regarding those minutes? Being none, Chair would entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
Make a motion that we approve the minutes from the August 14th, 2019 meeting as read.
All right.
I'll second.
Motion made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, unanimous. Thank you. Item B on the agenda, an A&R plan submitted by Barbara Hank for property located at 20 Bonnie View Road. Request to withdraw. Is Mrs. Hank here or represented?
She did send us a note. I don't think she can make it, but she did send us a note requesting that.
She did send a note. You have that note done? Or?
Yes.
All right, I read that into the record. This is sent August 16th, and it is very short and to the point. It says, please withdraw petition for the next meeting. Will advise when I am ready. Lawyer on vacation. Thanks, Barb Hank. I think at this point there's no further action for us to take on that unless someone has a question, in which case we don't have Mrs. Hank here or her representative to answer said question. Next we have...
We have to vote for the withdrawal, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry, I apologize.
Somebody have to make a motion that we accept her
withdrawal?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, I make a motion that we accept Ms. Hank's withdrawal of her A&R.
I'll second.
Motion made and seconded to accept Ms. Hank's withdrawal of her application. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And unanimous. Thank you. Next, we have Mr. Allen to discuss construction on Spruce Street, and looks like we're 5 2-unit and 1 1-unit townhouse on land off Spruce Street, zoning district Res 10.
Yes.
Mr.
Good
Allen?
evening. I met with the Lieutenant Konishny at the Dudley Fire Department to talk about that turnaround that I drew into the plan, and he spoke with the chief. They're in agreement that would be okay for what their fire purposes are. I met with the water department. They want a couple of fire hydrants in there for fire protection, of course. Sewer manhole with the sewer department down at the bottom of Spruce Street. So everything is coming together. I just need your blessing in order to hire the engineer to do this.
So looking at this plan, you want to go straight through now?
I'd love to go straight through, but you know, the problem is that guy's garage is right in the middle of the road.
Okay.
Okay.
I
But
mean,
this is just showing the paper road.
yeah, I mean, you can see where we would pave to. It shows right on the conceptual. But
Where the inner line ends.
yes, yes. I mean, we'd square it off so that it'd be
Right.
22
Right.
feet paved,
It-
all the way from Green to the end of that. And certainly, should they ever want to finish the road, they can. I mean, it's an easy enough. The water line's gonna run right out to Mill Street. So it's a continuous loop rather than dead ending.
So you're running all the way through with the water line?
Yeah, the water line will run from Green Street to Mill Street. According to that's what the water department says, and we don't have a problem with that. And of course, we can do that because the garage is on the left-hand side as you're going up the road, so we can hug the right-hand side and do that. We'll run the laterals for the water and the sewer as we're running the lines.
Are you going to use natural gas, or what's the thought there?
There is none there.
There is none there.
I'd love to use it,
Okay.
but there is none there.
All right. And you say you're here for our blessing.
Well, I suppose that's a
I'm
bit...
not, I mean, we could do something religious and take up collection, I
I
suppose.
didn't bring the wine or the bread, but no, I mean, if this conceptual plan is okay with you, then I will go forward with the engineer and I apologize, I got a cold, my
Okay, well,
words are echoing in my head.
well, again, it is a conceptual plan, so
Right.
you're some distance away from anything that's,
Right.
it's final
This
at
is gonna be a
point.
private way, it's not gonna be a public street.
Right.
It's not gonna be
Excuse me,
any of
Mr.
those
Oh,
things.
excuse me.
I just had a question for Don. Don, do we have any copies of that sketch last time Mr. Allen was here?
I don't have it with me, but I can go get it if you like.
Okay, because right now I'm looking at something that is nothing like what we were talking about anyway, so.
No, again, it was because of the cul-de-sac. We couldn't get the cul-de-sac to satisfy the fire department.
But I thought the problem with the cul-de-sac was the diameter of the cul-de-sac and.
Yeah, there wasn't enough room to do it.
Okay, oh, all right, so it wasn't, okay, I'm
There
misunderstood.
wasn't the width, Steve, to make that 100-foot cul-de-sac.
So what diameter are we talking that
It's gonna be a
Lieutenant
back end,
Commissioner?
it's gonna be a 50-foot back end, paved back end. I think I drew it right before the first of the buildings.
I don't think it's in there.
All right. So it's not really a circular turnaround at all anymore, is that?
No,
All right,
no,
I
no,
think that's
you
where
brought
my
up good
confusion
points.
was.
No, you,
Hammerhead so-called? Hammerhead so-called?
I'm sorry?
Hammerhead?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. All of the houses will have a driveway where if you have an emergency ambulance going up there, they pull in there. But if you have a fire truck, it's just gonna go up and then back in and go out, rather than having to back all the way up onto Green Street.
Fire chief's good with it.
Yeah,
I'm okay with
we
it.
did a site visit there.
You have gone
Have the
to the
room
fire
for-
department?
Oh, yeah.
The fire chief has.
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Replace the buildings, there wasn't enough room.
So the cul-de-sac is out, so.
The fire department was okay with, you know, the truck being.
It's the
able to back in
turnaround.
and turn around, though.
You intend to make this a private road eventually? A public
Sorry?
road, rather? You intend to make this a public road eventually?
I didn't hear you,
You
Don.
intend to make it a public road?
It's gonna be a private way that will be maintained by the association. This is gonna be 55 and older.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I
So
thought
is-
we initially were talking about affordable housing, which I had.
Oh, no.
I took to mean a starter home, if you would.
Well, I am. The price would be $275 for a 5-room, 2-bedroom, 2 full bath with an attached garage, ranch-style house for 55 and older. So there's no impact on the school system.
Oh, okay. All right,
There's
forgive me.
there's an incredible need for 55 and older housing. It's
Oh,
just-
I don't know if you recall, but that's why I asked that question the last time you were here. But at that time, the units you were looking at putting in, you were saying that the stairs were gonna be an issue for anybody for.
Yeah, I decided, you know, Patrick and I have talked about this, and
Okay.
we've talked to other realtors. There's just nothing.
Yeah, no, I agree.
You know, I mean, there's a lot of townhouses, but that doesn't help people like my age. We all want ranches.
So the concept as originally presented is modified,
It has evolved.
evolved,
It had
okay.
to evolve
good
a
word.
lot. The idea of the townhouses just didn't work, especially with just the overall need for the 55-plus community. Very few are coming on the market, and the second they're coming on the market, they're having an incredible amount of action, multiple offers, and we've seen our own clients lose out numerous times just trying to get into these properties. So it just makes sense to, you know, modify what we wanted to do.
No, I appreciate the fact that there definitely is need, or there is a market certainly for this.
It's a win-win for Dudley. No schools, more taxes.
Impact, right? Any
We have
fur-
fixed costs for water and sewer, so we're adding customers to that line.
Any other questions, gentlemen?
I had a question on why you're running the water, or why they're making you run the water all the way through. If these buildings on Mill Street get their water from Mill Street,
That's what they want. They don't want a dead end. Apparently it has to do something with pressure and some other things that are above my pay grade.
yeah, right?
Well, I said, I don't have a problem, because I have the ability to run it right to Mill Street.
Right.
So
No, it's just a
there's an extra cost, but
I was just baffled by it.
If I may, Mr. Allen, what action is it that you are looking for this evening, other than the discussion, which I guess we are in the process of having at this point? Is there anything here that we would vote on at this point, or I think it's
no, I don't
still
think so.
preliminary for
Again,
that?
this is completely off subdivision bylaws and requirements. And I guess I was just making sure that that's okay with the planning board.
The street would be subdivision, you know, according to the regulations, subdivision quality, yes, it's a good way to
Oh,
put
yeah,
it.
it'll be a type I road, 22 feet wide paved.
Yeah.
Oh, sure. Yeah, all of that will be like a subdivision, only because I mean, we'll have a reserve for replacement for the road and other things, but that shouldn't take place for 20 years.
Don, do you see anything that, at this point, we should be questioning or call to question?
No, I mean, things are gonna be located a little bit differently, obviously, but, you know, it's the general idea what I'm trying to do, so I don't know if there's a problem with it.
All right.
I'm sorry, I'm a little hard of hearing. I didn't hear you.
Yeah, again, we are still at very early stages
Yeah,
on this.
we'll have the full set of engineering plans on your October meeting.
Okay.
They start
preliminary.
next week doing the surveying. Again, I just want to make sure that we're all on the same table, that I have to do what you require, but it's not a subdivision per se.
All right.
It's more like a site plan.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I mean, this could change again once he goes to an engineer, it could get modified again.
Yeah,
so-
Well, I mean, I've had the site man out there for the road. You know, we have some fills to put in. He's met with water and sewer, so he knows what they want. And the engineer knows what has to be done. So it's merely a matter of doing the survey and committing it to a plan that you're used to looking at. And
Okay.
of course, we'll give you the as-built after it's done, just like any other subdivision, but it's not a subdivision.
All righty.
It's a private way.
Any further questions, gentlemen? Mr. Wetruba?
So you're coming in from Green Street, correct?
Yep.
Okay, and then these small skinny lines here that run parallel, I'm assuming those are sidewalks?
No, that is, in between the skinny lines is the paved area.
Okay. All right, so my question would be, where's the snow gonna go when the highway department is clearing that road?
Right where, oh no, the highway department would be doing nothing there, sir.
It would be private
We're
way.
doing all the plowing and sanding. The highway department does nothing, but to answer your question, it
I
would be to the
misunderstood.
right.
I thought we were looking at, because this was I thought when we talked about this originally, this was a paper road. Was I,
It is a
Spruce
paper
Street
road.
is, yes.
okay, so I thought you were asking us that you would be expecting the town to accept this as a road.
Oh,
after
no,
this.
no, 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 no. This would be the associations, all there to plow, sand, and repair the road. That's all theirs.
Okay, that's all I've got.
That would be in the association fees, the monthly fees.
Okay.
All right. But the thought would be that the snow would be plowed
Yeah, it'd be where that
towards the
turnaround-
Mill Street side of things.
No, 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 it's gonna go all in that area by Spruce Street before the buildings start. We got almost a quarter of an acre there to put snow. You see where the line veers off and makes a diagonal?
Yeah,
Yeah,
That whole open area there will be where the snow will go.
all right.
but that's where the fire truck needs to turn around, so if you have,
Well, I know, that, we'll plow that, of course.
You look at those final design details as conditions too, when it comes in with the site plan.
Okay.
Yeah, to be concerned about people parking there, and that'd have to be a condition, yeah.
Well,
Get
again,
to that
the
point.
only people going there are because they live there, or maybe they're visiting.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
Are you planning two-car garages, one-car garage?
one car.
One-car
with-
garage.
With parking out front of that garage.
So
So
again,
there'd be 2 parking spaces.
so 55 and over, you're going to have at least one person who'll be 55. Anyone over 18 can only be there if it's a
Yeah, they-
just limited number of days
Yeah,
or
I
something.
forgot what the bylaws will say, but it's a very limited amount of time. They can't move in with grandpa.
So the number of vehicles would be limited. You know, you're not going to have a family of teenagers coming up
Cars, yeah.
with, each
Again,
their
these
own
prices,
procedure.
it's gonna start at $275, so it's not, it's a very modest, not a high-end, unaffordable 55 and older project. I
Okay.
mean, the only one that we got anything close to this is in Webster. They only got 2 more sites left, and they start at $349 for a 1,200 square foot ranch.
All right. Any further questions, gentlemen? No? Again, we are looking at something that is evolving,
Yes, exactly.
so
exactly.
I think we're okay with this then, unless someone has an objection, at least to the point that we are seeing it now. And
Well, what you see is what you're gonna get only with
With-
the engineering detail that you
Yeah.
need, the slopes, all of that.
Or the specific information.
Exactly.
All right, so conceptually, we have settled on this as opposed to what we might have seen last time,
Right,
and.
right. Well, Steve brought up a good point. I mean, how do you do that with that cul-de-sac? And it didn't work. It just didn't work. Obviously, I'm not an engineer. I screwed that all up, so apologize to the
Yeah.
planning board, but.
The room isn't there to do it.
No, it's not. It's not. So, in going with the fire department, they said, okay, a turnaround is fine, as long as we have driveways for the ambulance to go into. I mean, they're 55 and older, so.
Yes, you'll regrettably need access for that, unfortunately. All right, if anyone has any further questions? If not, then thank you, and we'll welcome you back in the future.
Yes, you will. I'll be here in October.
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 Anytime your engineer wants to meet with me, you know, we'll make an arrangement.
I will. It's DC Engineering, Jay Dubois and Jeremy Croto.
Yeah.
They used to be with Burton Engineering.
Yeah, I've worked with them before, sure.
Worked with them a lot. They're pretty sharp guys. Don't usually have very many reviews recalled.
All right, thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you again.
All right, moving along, item D on the agenda, discussion/status report on finishing construction of and acceptance of uncompleted, unaccepted subdivision streets, including Pierpont Estates. Do we have anything with regards to
The other
Pierpont?
thing I know is that Tony Segura spoke to Jeff Walsh, from Grave Engineering, our inspector, and he wants to release 2 more lots.
He wants 2 more lots?
He wants to release 2 more lots. That has nothing to do with that, the conservation issue or anything, that stuff.
As I recall, the issue where there were conditions, there was condition number 3 and condition number 5. Number 3, as I recall, was in regards to 54 lots
Haven't heard any
approved.
more about either one of those.
You haven't heard anything further about that?
I don't know if that's coming
Okay,
back,
so, but
once-
condition number 3 would have to be modified if he's going to add 2 more lots. You'd have to go to 55 at that
He's
point.
not adding lots, he's just releasing lots from covenant.
I believe he
He
was,
put up a bond, in other words, for 2 more lots, is what he wants to do.
which I think he had 2 lots available. to
2 lots,
go.
okay, so they're
He has
not
about
going,
14, about 10, I think, 14, about 10 lots available still.
all right, and so, we're not going over the 54.
No,
Well, okay,
Did we ever get
I
any-
misunderstood, thank you.
Clarification on him giving back a percentage of the land to the town? Is there any clarification on that?
no progress on that. But this doesn't have anything to do with that, he's just releasing
No,
2
I'm
more
just
lots.
Right.
curious
of
to
building.
see if there was any clarification.
And Jeff is gonna
on
go there tomorrow and take a look at the
All
work
right.
to the date, and so forth.
So that is the information that we have available from Pierpont Estates, and that's it. How about Rocky Hill Estates?
No more.
No more? Piasta Road scheduled to be done 2019. We're running out of 2019.
No, we are, so I'm gonna call this week coming up.
All righty, thank you. Country View Estates, Eisenhower Drive.
I did hear from him. He said that he was preparing the survey plans, the as-built and so forth.
All right, so that's
Questions about it, and he's working on it.
working on it, to be continued. Tobin Farm Estates,
Same thing, they're working on it.
same thing, okay.
You know, I gotta ask Dawn about these, some of these subdivisions that we're trying to get finished. What is are we able to set timelines on these? I mean, some of these have been going
Yeah,
on
we've
for a
been-
long time.
Yeah, I know.
And at what point do we get where they're getting ready to do what they need to do and what's been done is starting to deteriorate?
Well, I don't know what happened before I got here, but we've been pushing it.
I mean, are we
Some of them-
allowed to set timelines? Is that something we're allowed to do and say, hey, on this timeline, we
We
want
can't
this
do
stuff?
it, we take the bond, but there's no point in doing that if,
Well, I heard some of the bonds are lower than what it would cost to do the repairs. So it doesn't make sense for us to take the bond, but at some point, we have to keep some of these builders held accountable.
I know. I've been dealing with that since I got here 3 years ago.
So I'm open to any ideas
I
of
don't know
what
what
we...
happened before I got here, but
I just know some of these roads, I know people that live on some of these roads, and they're in a tough place. These roads are in rough shape. And the only way they're gonna get done is if the homeowners pitch in to do it. So as public servants, we have to do a better job at holding these people accountable and giving them timelines where they're just not doing it at at their leisure.
We've been working on that for 3 years, too.
I think you've raised a very good point, a very valid point. I suspect that we may not be able to do much with those that are already in the process of completion, however slowly that may be evolving. But maybe in new projects that come before the board, there might be an opportunity to try and stress that issue, if not actually set some hard dates.
We did.
Or higher bonds.
We will.
We did and we will. Did we with any of these?
There's only one new subdivision that's come in the whole time I've been here. And there's only one new subdivision, I think, since 2006. And that's Pierpont, and we're on top of that one.
Yeah, that one's moving along.
We're on top of that. We got all these.
So these others predate 2006 and...
The process that they used to use then, that probably we wouldn't use now.
I thought Tobin Farms, they had a top coat put on their road. What is left to do there?
Survey work.
Oh, they're just doing as-built? Yeah, so that's really minute stuff.
Yes.
It's not structural stuff.
All right.
So they're getting the as-built stuff.
Which one concerns you? You mentioned that.
I think it's Country View. It's either Country View or Piasta, one of
There's a
them.
couple of things
They're
that
falling apart. I think it's Country View.
It's Piasta.
Is it Piasta?
Yeah.
I just know because my friend is on one of those roads and it's crumbling. The binder's crumbling.
Piasta. I went there with,
It is Piasta, yes.
Jeff and with, Jonathan, Angelovich.
And the problem is the longer,
They recognized they would have to redo the whole road, and they were.
I mean, at some point, they're gonna have to pulverize the road and start from
They recognize
scratch.
that They have to do that on that one, that's right. We recognize that.
Are
They
we
said they were
just,
finishing it this year, but
is
that was
there,
probably in late April, maybe.
What is the bond on Piasta? Do you know what that is? How much we're holding? That's nothing.
is there any way we can move this forward, Don? Any way of getting them off the dime and moving forward on this?
You call them in, but we've done that too.
The
And
problem is we have no leverage. What's a $23,000 bond? That's nothing.
well,
All I can tell you is this is what was here when I got here.
No, I'm not,
Yeah.
no, I just wanna make sure that we do the right thing by the citizens, that's all.
I know, I do too.
I
Well,
think
if
it's
the only-
shameful that people are paying taxes and the road's crumbling.
And tell them that I met out there with them, there was an agreement of everybody who was there. I think it was pavement contractor might have been there too. But, Jonathan, Angelovich was there. And Jeff Walsh, our inspector, was there, and I was there, and I think maybe somebody from Public Works might have been there too. And everybody agreed that it had to be pulverized and start over again. He agreed to do it, and as far as I know, he's gonna do it sometime this year. So I said I'll check from the beginning next chance I get. Whether it's tomorrow or.
Well, I just know usually the town cutoff for paving is November 15th.
any,
So the odds of that happening, being done are probably slim to none.
anyone, any other comments or questions?
Just
I
that's
think
enough.
I would ask Don if you could to approach them and see if we could get them in at least. It appears on the agenda, and I think I've seen this a couple of times, and it's just a one-line item. There's nobody here to talk to it, there's nobody here to ask questions of. It's just a very anonymous, one-line thing, and we go past it, and it comes back again to the next agenda. So if we could at least get somebody in here, I don't think they'll answer Mr. Perrin's questions in their entirety, but at least a presence
Come in.
that we could, I'm sorry?
Ask him to come in. I'll check with him. See if
All
I
right.
can-
I appreciate that. Anyone else, any further thoughts on that, or?
Yeah, I'm in agreement with that.
All right, so if you could then, Don, we'd appreciate that. We down to E, I lost track here. Final inspection associated with the site plans, including A&P Solar.
No more, still looking for landscaping.
They are looking to landscape.
We are looking for landscaping.
We are looking for landscaping.
From them?
All right, and again, summer's almost over, we'll be into the fall months, and then at some point, winter, and all of that gets a little more difficult.
This time to do is probably October. Early October.
October?
Let's see, early October this time.
Okay. All righty, so, again, gentlemen, it looks like we're gonna see these pending issues back on the agenda next meeting, and maybe we'll get a little closer to something with Piastre Road, if not some of the others.
A little, a timeline would be nice, some type of
It
timeline.
would be, yes. I think that's appropriate. That's a very reasonable
I think that's
request.
very fair.
S-
The paperwork to date on that one, we get next week sent to you, whatever.
Next, we had public hearing, and
No.
apparently none.
Mr. Chairman, Mr. LePage had to leave due to a family emergency.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
So I don't know whether or not we need to make any kind of formal statement about the change in the composition of the board. I guess we're not voting on
Forum,
anything,
so-
but
We still have a quorum.
You'll have a forum, you're fine.
I think we can continue. It doesn't look like there's anything really pressing at this point that I see. So,
I'm actually wondering, how you doing?
it should be noted for the
back.
record that Mr. LePage had to excuse himself. Public hearing? None? Okay. Unfinished and old business. This is the older old business, I guess.
It's ongoing. We did some background work on the Dudley Webster Main Street study. And we don't have any real work to present on that. The EDC didn't meet this month.
Okay.
It's September, right?
Either. They're meeting in September, though.
Planner's plate?
Well, we're working on some of these things with the town administrator.
Okay.
We've had the programs and so forth, the drainage program that we have to, catching up on the MVP grant. There's some meetings on those things. We had some coordination meetings that started the process.
All right.
Those are things that will show up in planning board.
What's the MVP grant?
Municipal vulnerability preparedness.
Okay.
Ultimately, it's, hopefully it'll lead to a program that we can tap into to repair our dams primarily.
That would be a good.
Excellent.
Good thing. Comments from the planning board? Mr. Wetruba? No? Mr. Perrin?
I question, that meeting that's in September, the regional one?
Oh, the one I sent you the.
Yes, do I have to register for that, or am I automatically registered?
You're automatically on.
Okay,
You're on the list now.
excellent. I look forward to bringing a lot of money to Dudley.
And Dudley looks forward to receiving a lot of money.
They are gonna be tired of hearing me.
Probably, we have a small zoning map update, so we'll probably have them do that. That's what we're generally using. They're frankly very good at that.
Comments from the audience?
We had an approval, we met with the surveyor and the lot line on one side was incorrect, so we've redone the,
Would you come forward and identify yourselves, please?
We talked to them once, right?
They've been here before.
Yeah, our first meeting, I believe.
All right, but as I think for the record, we need them to identify themselves again, if they would,
Yeah.
please.
My name is Danielle Jacobson. We live at 87 Dudley Oxford Road, and we had a lot approval next to our home. The lot line went up to a power easement, and we thought it was the road, and it's not the road. So the surveyor redid the plans. So we'd like to submit those, and I redid all the paperwork and everything.
Oh, it's just an extension?
It's an extension on the left-hand side of the lot. It's the same lot, it's just moved
All
over.
righty. Not being on the agenda, is it in order for us to,
We couldn't have anticipated it until 48 hours before the meeting is what it amounts to, because they didn't have the plan ready. And
okay,
Seeing as
So-
they came in today, and seeing as they already had the plan approved, it's just the correction.
Okay.
all right.
I don't see any problem with it.
So anyone on the board have any questions with regards to the formatting of this, or the procedural aspect of it, or
No, I have questions about the
the?
changes, but
Okay.
as far as up to what we were just talking about, as far as them not being on the agenda, I don't have a problem with it.
All right,
if Don doesn't. And Don
Okay.
doesn't sound like he has a problem with it.
okay.
This has already been done, too.
The only question I had was in regards to the open meeting laws, because they are required to post an agenda in advance of the meeting.
This is one of those things that couldn't anticipate it within 48 hours before the meeting, because it wasn't prepared. It's already been acted on, essentially, it's just a correction to what was acted on before, so I don't know.
All righty, well, we'll go with your guidance on that then, Don. So,
We appreciate
I
it.
guess Mr. Wetruba has some questions, and perhaps you could provide some answers for him?
Sure.
Yeah, okay, so, the, change in the lot line, what does that do to the, frontage and the, area of the lot?
It makes the frontage bigger and the lot bigger.
Oh,
Just
okay.
increases, that's all. So we're going from about approximately
If
100.
you'd like to see it, I mean, you can look at it, I mean,
It wouldn't hurt. Can we just look at it, just so we
Yeah,
can take a
sure.
look at it?
Bigger's usually not an issue, it's smaller I would be more concerned about.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Be careful with
Bigger's good.
the trap there.
so the Mylar's on top. What it is we thought this was the road and it ended here. This is really the road, so they extended this lot line to encompass the road. This is our home,
Mm-hmm.
and this is the field next to our home. So the original one, I have an original, I can show it to you, they ended here, but we wanted to end to the road, so it's just making it bigger, that's all.
With more
Essentially the same
road
thing.
And
frontage.
we're not building anything, we're
Yeah.
not doing
Yeah, okay.
anything.
I don't see any problems with that.
We treat this as an A and R?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you want the paperwork? I already filled out all the paperwork.
Well, we're gonna have to sign copies here, so.
Okay.
If you would, this one.
What's that?
If you would.
Yeah, I already filled it out.
All righty. How many, we need 2 paper copies signed?
Yes, that's right.
How many do we have?
Just out of curiosity, just how many square feet did that add to the property?
Sorry.
How many square feet did it add? Looks like quite a bit. Just curious.
It went from 150 foot frontage to about 300.
Oh.
So you got another, yeah, wow. It's a nice find.
It's all part of their family's land, so.
This is the original one, if you want to take a peek at it. It's just going from one sibling to another, it's
Yeah,
not really a
that's
fine. So the lot line, we thought this was the road and this is the original piece. So when we looked at it, we thought that was the road. So it's not, it's a power easement
Yeah.
my family had done years ago. So the road's over here, so that's why we had this lot line moved.
Okay,
So it's actually the whole field instead of a
yeah,
chunk of the field.
excellent.
And here's all the paperwork that I filled out.
Any further questions?
It's not.
It's just encompassing the whole field.
All righty.
I don't see any issues.
Okay, let's just figure out where we have to sign off. I get 2 copies there, paper copies. This is the original, so we're not gonna be signing on that. Yeah, this is
Is that the old one?
this is the original. Well, we get that one out of the way, we'll be at least one step closer anyway. Obviously, we've buried ourselves in paper here. We do, yeah, correct, good point. So, would someone care to make a motion to accept this A and R as presented?
I'll make the motion to accept the new A and R
I'll
as
second.
presented.
Second, a motion made and seconded, all those in favor? Aye. Unanimous?
Thank you, gentlemen.
Black
All
pen?
right, now, we need the Sharpie? Whoops. That's a serious fall.
Yeah, it keeps falling off the back of the cap.
Do the honors, you're,
Oh, you don't want to go first?
no, well,
Since
you
you're the
got
chairman
you
tonight?
got the implement right there, you might as well be the first to use it.
What's the date today?
Today's the 28th.
There's a voucher on my desk, I'll be right back. Two name tags.
Doesn't matter if we sign in black or blue, does it, Carol? Good.
I actually like blue better, but then you know it's a real original.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Well, I'm afraid nobody's gonna know what's original and what isn't. I'm making enough room with this one, enough noise with this microphone.
I'm just gonna go over there and sign the Mylar.
All right, can you get by? Okay, these two. Over. And we got the, grab this thing. These are the additional copies. Just slide those under perhaps.
We gotta keep one, right?
Yeah, we're gonna keep, well, the town clerk gets one and he keeps one. I think Don keeps one, right?
We need to keep two, right?
You need to keep
One
two.
for the town clerk and one for the planning
Planning
office. The others, I guess, can go back to the.
Alrighty.
What he needs. These two top ones are signed on. There's no date on the top, so you want me to date it, you want to date it?
Mylar that needs to be signed, that has to go to the lawyer.
I guess so.
In the registry.
Submitted by, just accepted by the planning board. We fill in the bottom and sign on this. Yeah. So today's the 28th. Member signature, I'll put my name on there. It asks for the clerk's signature.
No, it's Steve.
I think we managed to do that without any paper cuts. They didn't tell us that was a hazard. I think it's one of the primary hazards.
back to it, Don. This one?
All right.
This is one for the executive committee to sign. This is Steve.
We can give you all these other copies, all right? I'd like one. You need those two signatures, or one of these go to them?
No. Just the original goes to them.
I'll leave another copy first, just in case.
Appreciate you guys taking the time for us. Thank you.
It's our job, isn't it?
We weren't part of the agenda, so we definitely appreciate it.
We're lucky we only have one of these.
Lucky there was a short night.
Exactly. Came in and the audience was definitely a lot less than what we're accustomed to
Yeah.
seeing, so.
I just think it's the duty of the board to serve the town people, right?
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so much.
Well, I guess that gets us to past item I, comments from the audience, unless the audience has any further comments. Other business, approval of consultant vouchers, payment of bills.
Hey, Don? So, I have no problem signing this evening, but I just had a quick question.
Yeah.
I thought that we
Good evening.
had passed the baton on this to the town manager.
Oh, we did too.
I thought that the idea was that I remember we voted and approved on something so
For
that.
payroll.
Oh,
Nameplates?
okay.
Payroll only.
Regular vouchers for, those are still signed by the
It
board.
takes two members of the executive committee, and two members are here.
Two members
Chairman-
of,
The executive committee, so to speak.
so we need
Chairman,
both.
vice chairman, and clerk.
Okay. Oh, chairman, so we have to hold this for Dan?
No,
No.
no. You got two. If we didn't have two of these whole executive committee, we have
All righty.
the officers, whatever. We'd have-
Okay, so approval of consultant vouchers / payment of bills, other town notices? Anything else? No?
Those are usually at the back. I believe it's under letter J. That
Letter
just
J.
tells you what the surrounding towns, Webster, Dudley, Oxford.
Okay.
Sometimes Connecticut, because we border Thompson, you might see.
I don't see anything more recent than August 13th, so there's been no action since then, since the last meeting.
No.
Okay. All righty. Other correspondence? Is there a tab? corresponding to the correspondence? Nothing there, okay. And last item on the agenda, if anyone, unless anyone has any further questions, would be, Chair would entertain a motion to adjourn. Second, motion made and seconded. I guess I made it. Made and seconded. All those in favor?
I think you do that.
I think we violated
You
some.
want to do that again?
Yeah, let's try that one again. I'll take a mulligan on that one. The chair would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion, we adjourn.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous. All right. Thank you, gentlemen, for bearing with me through that process.
Congratulations, you did.